Tired of feeling lost and powerless after heartbreak? Discover how ancient Stoic principles can help you reclaim your strength and navigate the emotional turmoil, empowering you to emerge stronger than ever. We've all been there, heart cracked open, mind replaying every moment, wondering why we weren't enough, what we could have done differently, and whether they'll ever regret walking away. The silence after love is deafening. But what if I told you this heartbreak is your turning point? What if this isn't where your story ends, but where your power begins? You see, the Stoics, ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, faced wars, exile, betrayal, and loss. Yet they walked through life with clarity, with calm, with strength. Not because life was easy, but because they learned to master themselves when everything else fell apart. What they knew is something most of us forget in our pain. We cannot control what others do, but we can always control how we respond. And that's where your healing starts. Not when they apologize, not when they come back, not when you finally understand why it ended. Your healing starts the moment you choose yourself over your suffering. This isn't about revenge. This is about resurrection. This is about rising, not bitter but better. Because in the end they'll regret losing you, not because you begged, chased, or proved your worth, but because you became someone unshakable in their absence. In this video, we'll break down 7 Stoic secrets that will guide you through heartbreak, anchor you in truth, and awaken the version of yourself that was buried under pain. These aren't abstract theories. These are battle-tested truths that have helped people for centuries reclaim peace in the face of loss. Stick with me until the end, because if you truly absorb what you're about to hear, you'll never beg for love again. You'll embody it. Number 1. Accepting reality and releasing the past. The first and most powerful step toward healing is acceptance, not avoidance, not denial, not forced smiles or shallow affirmations, but a full-hearted acknowledgement of the truth. They're gone. It hurts. And yes, it's unfair. But Stoicism teaches that peace begins the moment we stop arguing with reality. You don't need to pretend it didn't matter. You don't have to act unbothered. In fact, pretending to be unaffected only delays real healing. Stoicism isn't about emotional suppression, it's about emotional clarity. It says, feel it, witness it, but do not be enslaved by it. When heartbreak strikes, the mind becomes a battlefield of what-ifs and if-onlys. But this mental tug-of-war keeps you chained to a version of the past that no longer exists. Epictetus said it best. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. What happened is outside your control. But how you respond to it now, that's where your power lives. You can't undo the ending, but you can choose what comes next. To accept reality doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It means you recognize that clinging to a fantasy is what's prolonging your suffering. Letting go doesn't dishonor the love you felt. It honors the strength you now need to claim. You don't erase the past. You release your grip on it. You stop expecting it to change. You stop waiting for closure that may never come. You stop giving your peace away to a memory. Acceptance is the soil where freedom grows. It's what allows you to stop surviving and start living again. When you say, "This happened. I didn't want it, but I accept it," you reclaim ownership of your life. No more begging the past to be different. No more shrinking under the weight of what could have been. The past can no longer hurt you when you stop feeding it with your focus. Bring yourself back to the present. Breathe in the now. This is the only place your strength exists. You are not broken. You are rebuilding, and the foundation is built on truth, not fantasy. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I release what no longer serves me. I accept what is, and I rise. Number 2. Feel without judgment. In a world that often praises emotional detachment as strength, it's easy to misunderstand Stoicism as a cold rejection of feeling. But the truth is, Stoicism invites you to feel everything, just not to be controlled by it. You're allowed to hurt. You're allowed to feel lost, disappointed, even angry. What you're not required to do is judge yourself for those emotions or let them define who you are. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote not as a conqueror, but as a student of his own heart. In his private meditations, he admitted to his emotional struggles. He didn't see feelings as flaws. He saw them as part of being human. His wisdom wasn't in denying emotion. It was in learning how to sit with it without letting it distort reality. Emotions are messengers, not masters. They highlight where healing is needed, not where your truth ends. Sadness doesn't mean you're weak. Anger doesn't mean you're broken. Missing someone doesn't mean you were wrong to walk away. These feelings are natural responses to loss. They deserve to be felt fully, but they also deserve to pass, not to take over. Too often we carry shame for our emotions. We think we should be over it by now, or that strong people don't cry. But real strength lies in feeling deeply and still choosing to move forward. There's bravery in sitting with pain without needing to fix it immediately. There's courage in saying, "This hurts, but I won't let it define me." You are not your emotions. You are the space in which emotions arise. Just like a storm moves through the sky without staining the sky itself, your emotions move through you without ever becoming the whole of you. Feel everything, deny nothing. But remember that you're the observer, not the storm. When you practice this kind of emotional mastery, you create space between feeling and reaction. And in that space lies wisdom, growth, and peace. Your ability to feel deeply and still act with clarity is what sets you free from emotional chaos. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am not my pain. I witness it, I feel it, and I choose peace. Number 3. Cultivating gratitude and finding meaning. Gratitude is probably the last thing on your mind when your heart feels like it's been torn apart, and that's completely understandable. When love collapses, it can feel like the ground beneath you disappears. But this is exactly where Stoicism offers a profound shift, not to bypass the pain, but to help you transform it. Stoic philosophy teaches that pain isn't an enemy, it's a guide. It opens your eyes to truths you may have been unwilling to face before. The end of a relationship might expose parts of yourself that were hidden beneath comfort, dependency, or illusion. That's where the gift lies, not in the heartbreak, but in what the heartbreak reveals. Seneca, one of the most powerful voices in Stoicism, once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Think about that. It's the very pressure, the challenge, the ache that shapes you into someone wiser, deeper, and more grounded. This moment is not meant to break you. It's meant to polish you. You are becoming someone you couldn't have become without this experience. Gratitude, in this context, doesn't mean denying that it hurts. It doesn't mean smiling through fake positivity. It means seeing the wisdom wrapped inside the wound. It's looking at what's left and realizing it's enough to start over. You don't have to be thankful for the person who hurt you, but you can be thankful for the clarity their absence gave you. You can be thankful for the new space to grow, for the opportunity to rebuild on stronger terms, for the rediscovery of your own worth, separate from anyone else's validation. Start small. Be grateful for the breath that still moves through your body, for the quiet that no longer holds chaos, for the peace that's slowly, silently entering your life again. Be thankful for the tears. They're proof you loved deeply. And now, be thankful for the chance to love yourself just as deeply. Meaning doesn't always arrive in grand revelations. Sometimes it's in the slow realization that this pain is pushing you towards something bigger than what you lost. Maybe it's calling you to step into your purpose, to explore what sets your soul on fire outside of romance, to serve, to create, to build something meaningful that doesn't crumble when another person walks away. Heartbreak isn't the end of your story. It's the moment the real story begins. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am grateful for my growth. Even this pain has a purpose. Number 4, reclaiming your power and moving forward. Heartbreak can make you feel like something was stolen from you. Your joy, your confidence, your identity. But here's the truth Stoicism reminds us of. No one has the power to take anything from you unless you hand it over. When someone walks away, they don't walk off with your worth. They walk off with your permission. Permission that can be revoked the moment you decide to take your power back. You are not powerless unless you believe you are. What happened may have shaken you, but it didn't end you. What they said or did, those are events, not definitions. And in the Stoic worldview, events are neutral. It's our interpretation that gives them weight. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's where your true comeback begins. Not when they apologize, but when you no longer need one. To reclaim your power means you stop asking questions that no longer serve you. You stop wondering if they miss you, if they've changed, if they're sorry. You let go of the desperate need for closure because you realize closure doesn't come from them. It comes from clarity within. That clarity comes when you remember that your value was never tied to how someone treated you, but in how you now treat yourself. This isn't about building walls, it's about building foundations. Rebuilding your identity isn't forgetting the past, it's refusing to let it define your future. The person you were during that relationship was real and sincere, but maybe also unguarded and unaware of your full worth. Now you know better. And now you walk differently, stronger, slower, more grounded. Forward motion isn't always a sprint. Sometimes it's choosing not to text. Sometimes it's sleeping through the night without replaying everything. Sometimes it's looking in the mirror and saying, "This is my life now and I'm in charge." You don't need revenge. You don't need to be seen. You don't even need to be remembered. You just need to move forward. With dignity. With direction. With the kind of grace that only comes from knowing you've survived the worst and are building your best. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I take my power back. I move forward with strength, not sorrow. Number 5. Control what you can. Release what you can't. Heartbreak can make your mind spiral. It throws you into a maze of why, what if, and will they. These questions have no finish line, just mental exhaustion and emotional chaos. But Stoicism offers a way out. The discipline of distinguishing between what is and isn't within your control. This is a core Stoic principle, perhaps the most transformative. You can't control who stayed or who left. You can't control what they felt or failed to see. But you can control what you choose to focus on now. And that distinction, that sharp line between the uncontrollable and the controllable, is where your freedom begins. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That means your thoughts, your actions, your choices in this moment, those are yours. And every time you give your energy to what lies beyond that boundary, you hand over your power. You don't need to solve the mystery of why they changed. You don't need their closure, their confession, or their comeback. You need your focus. And that focus should be on your healing, on your emotional fitness, on your daily rituals, on rebuilding trust, not in them, but in yourself. Ask yourself, how much peace have I sacrificed trying to control what was never mine to begin with? Every minute spent wondering if they regret, it is a minute lost in your own growth. You could be using that same time to read, to train, to sleep deeply, to breathe intentionally, to create something beautiful from the wreckage. Stoic strength isn't loud, it's quiet confidence. It's the kind of energy that doesn't chase or demand, it chooses. When you accept what you cannot change, you conserve energy for what you can, your mindset, your response, your standards, your purpose. This mindset becomes armor. Not because it protects you from pain, but because it ensures you won't waste your life avoiding it. When the pain comes, you meet it with presence, not panic. When uncertainty arises, you meet it with discipline, not desperation. Let go of needing to fix the unfixable. Let go of rewriting their story. Begin writing your own, with clarity, intention, and boundaries that honor your peace. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I release what I can't control. I focus on my peace. Number 6. Become the observer of your mind. After heartbreak, the mind becomes loud. You hear whispers of self-doubt, echoes of old arguments, flashbacks of tender moments now turned bitter. It feels relentless, thoughts spiraling, looping, digging deeper into your wounds. But the Stoics offer a radical, life-changing shift. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. This is the foundation of inner mastery. Stoicism doesn't tell you to silence your mind. It teaches you to separate from it. You're not that inner voice telling you you're not enough. You're not the story that says you'll never find someone better. You are the awareness behind the noise, the calm witness behind the storm. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What colors are you choosing? Is it the gray of despair, the black of resentment? Or are you ready to repaint your soul with courage, resilience, and wisdom? You get to decide, not by forcing thoughts away, but by changing your relationship with them. When a painful thought arises, don't try to fight it or argue with it. That only gives it power. Instead, step back, breathe. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it useful? Or is it just old pain speaking in a familiar voice? Most of the time, your thoughts after heartbreak are fear disguising itself as truth. This is where practice comes in. Stoics believed in daily reflection, in checking their minds the way a warrior checks their armor. Use tools like journaling, not just to vent, but to track patterns, to see how often the same thoughts come up. You'll start to realize these thoughts aren't facts, they're habits, and habits can be unlearned. Meditation is another path. You don't need hours of silence, just 5 minutes a day, sitting still, breathing, noticing. When a thought comes, label it. That's fear. That's memory. That's longing. And let it go. Like clouds in the sky, thoughts pass if you stop chasing them. Even a slow walk outside with your phone off and your senses engaged brings you back to the present. Because the present is where peace lives, not in your head replaying the past, but in your body grounding you in now. The more you observe your mind instead of reacting to it, the less it controls you. You become the master. And that's the ultimate Stoic goal, not to be free from pain, but to be free from bondage to pain. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I observe my thoughts. I am not controlled by them. Number 7. Live with purpose bigger than pain. There's one truth that separates those who stay stuck in heartbreak from those who rise beyond it. Your pain does not define you. Your purpose does. Heartbreak may shake you, but it doesn't have to shatter you. Not if you have something greater pulling you forward. And that something greater is purpose. Seneca once wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." The question is, are you using yours to endlessly rewind what happened, or to become who you were always meant to be? The pain you're feeling isn't meaningless. It's fuel. It's fire. And yes, fire can destroy, but it can also purify, forge, refine. That's what this heartbreak is offering you, a chance to rebuild not just your heart, but your entire direction. When you stop obsessing over who left and start focusing on why you're still here, your perspective changes. You begin to ask better questions, not why did they leave, but what am I meant to do with the strength I'm gaining? That shift doesn't just heal you, it transforms you. Let this heartbreak wake you up. Let it burn away the parts of you that were settling, shrinking, or dimming your own light to keep someone else comfortable. Let it be the beginning of your rebirth, not into someone cold or closed, but someone conscious, clear, and deeply committed to a life of meaning. Purpose doesn't have to be grand at first. It might be as simple as rebuilding your body through daily movement, or reading one page of Stoic wisdom each morning. It might be volunteering, creating, starting that passion project you shelved during the relationship. It's about movement, forward, intentional, powerful. Because when you become someone who lives with purpose, you stop looking for someone else to complete you. You stop begging for validation. You stop needing to be chosen, because you've already chosen yourself. And in that energy, you become magnetic, not just to love, but to peace, abundance, and fulfillment. That's when the irony kicks in. The moment you stop chasing love is the moment the right kind of love begins to notice you. Not the kind that drains you, not the kind that confuses you, but the kind that aligns with the version of you who knows exactly why they're here. You don't win by getting them back. You win by becoming the person you never want to abandon again. This is your time, not to prove anything to them, but to reveal everything within you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I live with purpose. My pain fuels my power. Let me leave you with this. The greatest revenge is not bitterness. It's not proving your worth. It's not even making them miss you. The greatest revenge is living a life so full, so free, so powerful that their memory fades into a lesson you've already outgrown. You were not broken. You were redirected. You were not abandoned. You were released. You were not rejected. You were rerouted to something higher. And the version of you that's rising now, they wouldn't recognize you because you've become the person you were always meant to be, stronger in the silence, wiser through the wounds, and untouchable in your peace. So, take this Stoic truth and wear it like armor. You are not a victim of heartbreak. You are the architect of your comeback. And yes, they'll regret losing you, not because you screamed it, but because your silence now echoes with power they never expected. If this video spoke to your soul, don't just like, subscribe. This is your space for healing, truth, and unshakable growth. Share it with someone who needs it. And remember, you never needed them to become whole. You just needed to remember who you were without the pain.